much I will direct the questions at Gary. Alright, so first, introduce yourselves, like, your names.
Okay.
And then, so I can give you like a list of things that you can do. So you can, so first introduce your names, and like maybe like your major or something like that.
Okay.
And how old you are.
Okay.
And then how you met.
Okay.
You can make it a good, you can make it a good story if you want.
I like our stories.
And then what you consider your like culture background, basically. So like Kelsey, you're gonna say white Caucasian American girl.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So got that. I'll remind you if you guys miss anything. So first, introduce yourselves.
Okay. I'm Kelsey.
I'm Gary.
And I am a rec major, and I am 23 years old.
Well, I am a bio major, and I am 27 years old.
And we met on an April day.
eHarmony.
No, okay. We met on a field school through our department, my rec department, and we were all going on a trip to the Sequoias to do some volunteer work. And I thought I was just going with my best friend Matthew on this trip, and turns out he lugged his brother along.
I needed a unit for full time, so.
He also needed a girlfriend, so I'm just kidding. And so we took this trip down to the Sequoias with our class, and sitting in a car ride for 6 hours with this guy like right next to me, you get to know someone pretty well in a 6-hour car ride. So chatted and got to know each other on the trip, and it was really fun. And after that, we were inseparable.
Yep.
Okay. And your backgrounds.
Okay. I am. What? I don't know. I'm white.
It's a cooking culinary.
Okay.
Say it again.
It's a joke.
I know. Okay. I am Caucasian.
No, you learned this at the end of summer what you are.
Okay, I'm actually, I am 75% Italian and 25% Jewish.
Very good.
Yeah. And I'm just half and half. Half English, American, and half Filipino.
Alright. So, how long have you two been in a relationship?
What's the number? What is it?
Shut up.
What is it?
6 months. Woo.
What do you think that some of the benefits of an intercultural relationship have been for you or can be? So, like, an example would be something you didn't know about the Filipino culture before that he's taught you, or something
Yeah,
of that
I
nature.
I think for me, like, I didn't, like, what we were, like, looking at earlier is, like, I don't really see it as, like, an intercultural relationship, but, like, I guess out of it, though, I've learned a lot more about race and, I don't know, issues and topics of that nature, and also, like, a lot about the Filipino culture and where his mom is from. Island of Cebu.
Have you learned anything about the American culture?
Well, I was born in America, I was raised in America, and I lived in a small white town the majority of my life. I got most of it on lock, but yeah.
Let's see. Have you... So, you've both met each other's parents.
Mm-hmm.
How did that go?
Great.
Cool.
Yeah,
It was over dinners and lunches.
Yeah.
Pretty much, right? Applebee's and Fast Eddie's.
Yeah. Really excited. No, they were like, it's not even an issue, and there was nothing wrong with it, and we live in 2013, so everything was good. Cool and copacetic.
There was no explaining to parents that I'm dating a white girl or?
No, like, well, my dad's white and my mom's Filipino, so they already know interracial relationships, so
Okay.
Yeah.
they'd be hypocrites if they said anything different, so.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. So you come from an intercultural,
Yeah.
like, family. That's a good thing.
What about you?
Don't less.
Long hair, no hair?
Yeah.
Good God. No.
This one's sort of for like.
I know, no, but I didn't have to explain anything to them. Oh, what a surprise.
Oh.
Tank tops. I think they're more concerned about
They're concerned about my health and my skin cancer issues,
what?
because too much tank tops showing me too much skin.
Okay, yeah.
You get skin, it's like you get that sun cancer.
Tank
Yeah.
tops.
Was there a language barrier between you two?
All the
Some of
Jackie
these,
talks.
some
Yeah.
of these are like for like
Well,
for real
like,
intercultural.
like fresh off the boat kind of
Yeah.
Oh.
He calls little us. They call them fobs.
Oh my gosh.
There's really no inner or like any language barriers except when I start speaking more, I don't know, street, is that?
No.
That works.
Ebonics?
It's jive talk.
Uh,
Oh my god.
You've seen airplane, you know how to job. You know job.
okay, I'm just gonna ask you questions, and you can make it general or you can make it about you too. So
Okay.
like, what you guys think. What makes your relationship unique?
I don't need to answer this.
Unique. Makes it all different.
Yeah.
Compared to what? Everyone else in a relationship?
Mm-hmm.
Well, we are two unique individuals in this one relationship no one else has, so.
Oh my
Makes it
god.
unique.
That's such a cop out. Oh my
That's
god.
a presidential answer. It's a politician.
Yeah, I know.
Do you have an answer?
I don't know.
Oh, I had something.
Okay, go.
No, that's what I had. That's compared to your nothing.
I don't know. I like us. I think. I don't know. I just like. I like that. I feel like. I don't know. I feel like I learn a lot from you, and in regards to. I don't know, just like honestly the topic of race, because I kind of feel like I was pretty sheltered when it came to race growing up. I mean, yeah, like I went to school and there were like all different types of race, but it's primarily white. Chico is a primarily white town, and with him living in Susanville and like facing discrimination and stuff, like that has never even crossed my mind. So I think something that is kind of interesting and unique about us. I'm kind of straying from the question, but like I guess it's kind of just cool to be able to learn something new and to be with someone who doesn't have your background, because you can learn from it and grow from it. And I know that I've definitely I've learned a lot and I'm still learning from it. So
Are there any talks that you can remember in specific that revolved around like culture?
Like what was
Yeah.
discrimination examples I gave you?
well, okay, so actually I can remember a lot.
Oh, the only thing you remember?
Dude, shut up. No. Okay, so we were watching the movie Remember the Titans, and you know that's a movie that like faces a lot of like racial issues and stuff like that. I mean, that's basically what the whole movie's about. So this guy and his love for football, like I kind of like look around the room and everybody's tearing up, and I look at this guy and I kind of tell that he was too, but yeah, he doesn't want to admit that. But we're riding our bikes home and just kind of got on the topic of him playing football in Susanville and actually having players on the team. Like, they all got along in the end, but like having players on the team that he got on the team and, you know, they were pretty racist and like would make
Yeah.
jokes.
Well, it wasn't really jokes. They were just like, when they got angry, they got racist.
Mm.
And then, like, I feel like it had no context being in that situation. And that situation should never be part of anyone's vocabulary or in any situation like that. But like, I don't know. I mean, it wasn't like, this was just a couple years ago, my football years, not 50 years ago during civil rights. So I thought it should be squashed. But in small towns like that, it's totally not squashed at all.
Yeah, so out of that like conversation, I think that was kind of actually, I don't know, it was definitely one of our major conversations that we had, and he kind of explained to me like dealing with that, and you know, and for me, like, that was never an issue. I was on a volleyball team with all white girls, and you know, it's just something that you don't really think about until like you know someone or see it yourself. And luckily I haven't seen anything like that. Hopefully I never will, but I don't know. Yeah, oh, I think that was definitely a good talk we had.
Have you ever encountered like you two being out and anybody saying anything?
How many looks did you get?
I don't know. Well, oh. So we were at Cafe Coda, and we were having. Can I use this one? Okay, I'm gonna use this
This
one.
was on our anniversary.
And we're having breakfast, and we sat down. Oh wait, no, I'm sorry. This old white couple sat down next to us, and they weren't talking to one another, but this woman kept staring at both of us, like just like this. Like she was not like, maybe.
Maybe she was just bored.
I don't know.
We had cool conversations she was eavesdropping on.
Yeah,
We
maybe.
just looked super cool and she was wrinkly.
Yeah.
Could be any of those.
Yeah, it could be.
She could have been ageist,
Yes, that's true.
but it still was kind of uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's something I go through more so than I think she does.
Right.
And then for her to actually recognize that, it's like, that's something I get all the time. One, because yeah, it's a minority thing, but then also like, I do look pretty unique. I'm like the only kid around here with big hair, who's brown. Like, I mean, there's a handful of us out there. If you look, we're not all related, but like, not twins either, but like, there are a couple of us out there, but I do stand out. Like, it gets to the point where I'll, like, as she knows, like, I can go down the block and I have to say hi to like at least 2 people every time we go down the block.
Yes.
Because they recognize me.
Yes.
And then, so I'm pretty unique and I stand out that way. It's all positive for that
Yeah.
aspect, but I think for that old lady, we were just weird looking.
I think, yeah, I think so.
Okay. Prior to this intercultural relationship, had you ever considered, like, was it something that you considered before being in an intercultural relationship?
Well, since the majority of them are all intercultural relationships, it doesn't really strike me as if anything really different. Like for me personally, I know, like, I guess you'd almost say like my preference would almost have to be like Caucasian females, because that's what I grew up around too, so that's what I got to know my whole life. And that's what I've dated the majority of, so.
Gosh, I don't know. I don't think I really considered it, honestly. I think I just had seen him around campus and I thought he was attractive, and that's what happened there. But I don't know, and I have very like all across the board taste in guys, you know that. So so that's how I'm gonna answer that question. So I never really considered it, and I never really was like, I would like to be in one. Let's go find someone, you know. So, my God,
It just happens.
it just happened. That's right.
Okay, good.
Oh my God.
It's a new month. Let's do this. You could do it like during the months of heritage, like Filipino Heritage Month and African American Month.
Try them all out.
Disability month?
What month is this?
Okay, what do you believe are some, so this is where you can be like general or with
Okay.
you guys, but since you haven't seemed to have much experience with like people being offensive towards your or like against your relationship, it's probably gonna be more general, but what do you believe are some of the misconceptions of intercultural relationships? So like when you see an intercultural relationship, like what do you, so I had to ask you guys,
Like kind of like a
have-
stereotype.
yeah, like I had to ask you guys, have you had anyone like pinpoint you and like make it awkward for you guys? So
Mhm.
what do you think those misconceptions are with like intercultural relationships?
I don't know.
I don't know, like, I really try not to like judge.
Like that they just couldn't work,
Yeah.
because of like a whole barrier.
Well, I do know like it gets easier with generations. Like, I don't like our parents' generation was probably the one where it was intermixed the most, or the starting point. Then our generations would be the most, and then after that, it's going to be blended all the way
Everyone.
through.
Yeah.
But I mean, at least for my my family in general, like my dad's side's like all white, and then all of a sudden he marries this Filipino woman, and then she's welcomed into the family and all that stuff. And then and then it just snowballs into more interracial, then everyone's everything then.
Big old blend.
Then we don't know what you are. You can answer this or not. If marriage were to happen, what cultural differences would you see? Like, would you want to incorporate some Filipino like wedding tradition type things?
Oh yeah,
There's gonna be plenty of the Philippines.
Oh,
Okay,
alright.
let's hear that.
just by food wise, that's about it. Well, a lot of the culture is like, cause like wedding and all that stuff is also based around religions. I myself am not religious whatsoever. I believe in science, not Scientology, but science. Like I do science all the time. So like, anyways, like my religion's like my mom is Catholic, but she's not the kind that pushes it on us. Like she doesn't care if we go or not or what we are. But I assume like I've never had this talk with my parents, but like I'm sure they'd show up. They'd want to have some kind of say in it, but I don't think they even would have that much of a say in it, except like maybe if I wanted to like represent my Filipino heritage, I have a special shirt that I could wear. They call it like a barong Tagalog. It's just a nice formal dress shirt. It's kind of see-through, but
But why wouldn't you want to see this?
the wedding's not set yet, so I can work out. But like that's something we could do. Like it's the same kind of way that some people like I could wear that shirt the same as a military person would wear his dress uniform, just to represent something like that. And then like I may not have every value and faith that a Filipino person has, but like I know where my roots come from, and I could throw in like some of the main things that are important to me. Like if I wanted to show off the Filipino side, I could wear that shirt, and then I could also have like the feast will have Filipino food because everyone loves it, and then it's all about food and family and fun. So, but yeah,
Yeah.
that's the only way
I'm down.
I'd
When is it?
You're good with the wedding?
They would have to.
Can I come?
It would have to
I've
be a
never
lot,
had
like a big
Filipino
place, because it
food.
would have to hold a lot of people.
Oh yeah.
Because there's a lot of family in Philippines. Extended family everywhere, and friends.
Kelsey, do you know any cool Filipino words like what Gary just said?
No.
Say ponce and lumpia.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I could name food, but like that's not really that's.
What's your favorite Filipino food?
I like lumpia a lot, but he makes this really good chicken adobo. And then also I've had when we were at the international festival.
Like chow mein and stuff?
Yeah.
That's
That's
ponce.
Ponce. Yeah, and Ponce.
Okay. So if a friend asked you advice on how to navigate their own intercultural relationship, what advice would you give them or how would you respond to
Just treat it like it's a relationship, and I don't know, I don't think color really needs to be a option, or I don't know, an issue, I
Yeah.
guess.
Well, I'm saying, like, you could respect what everyone else says around it, but like, in the end, it's just the two individuals.
Yeah.
And that's all that really matters.
Yeah.
So like if her parents still hated me, I'm sure I'd still date her on the side.
Yeah.
But-
Oh, on the side? What?
Side squeeze.
Oh my god.
Just kidding, just kidding.
Is there any benefits that you would highlight of having an intercultural relationship?
I think the learning part. I think that's what I like about it. And when he like talks about like, I don't know, like his culture, and he was the president of the Filipino club for 2 years, and like he talks about all these cool stories and activities that they did, and like things to learn about their history. Like that gets me really excited, and so I think that would be a big highlight, is just learning about someone else's culture, and you know, and also yeah, just learning about it. It's really cool.
Have you ever been to the Philippines?
No, I haven't gone there yet.
If you two were to go, do you know what it would be like? Like, would you get strange looks, or is it totally?
Well, it depends, because like in that culture itself, some people, like some pure 100% Filipinos, sometimes don't look at half Filipinos as real Filipinos. But that's not everyone. That's just some things. But that's in the culture over there. Like, and it's also, it's a more dangerous world over there than it is in America. It's more third world. If they know you're half, like there's guerrilla outfits. There's every politician there has his own 100 plus military outfit. It's not a great place to be. And then, like, if I was to go over there, like I've heard stories, and like my mom's jokingly warned about us, where like say if they found out, like, there's a chance, like, well, I would say, like, since these stories come about, so there has to be some kind of truth around it. Like, if they find out you're a rich white American, you could be kidnapped and just, you know, held for ransom and stuff like that, because that country is that poor. So,
So no vacations
But-
over there anytime soon.
I don't think so.
but I doubt that happens that often. But you never know. I've never been kidnapped. So. Let you know when that happens.
Let's keep it that way.
This chair is rough.
Anything you guys want to feel like you need to talk about? Let it out.
Oh man.
What? You have something to say?
It's going good.
Yeah.
So it's been a positive experience.
Yeah.
Overall.
Yeah.
Like, she's got to learn a lot from me, and then I learned in exchange too. Is like I realized, like, she didn't grow up the same way I did, and she has to realize I didn't grow up the same way she did. Like, we just met this year.
Mm-hmm.
We were like, granted, we lived only 100 miles away, like almost our whole lives, and like we've even traveled to each other's towns for sports and stuff. Like, two totally different upbringings.
I hope I'm not shaking this thing out of control every time I like. I could ask you guys this, but I don't know if it would be that. Oh shit. Oh. What are the main differences in the two cultures, would you say?
Two cultures? Which ones? There's many cultures floating around over here.
Your two. Well, I guess
Well, the ones we both
American
I
and,
like.
Yeah.
and Filipino, excluding
Yeah.
Italian and
Yeah.
Jewish.
Because it's,
Two
'cause it's not like I was.
Well, we both
right.
identify mainly as Americans, and like I'm Filipino American, but like I like go along with the entire American way. But yeah.
Cause like I mean,
There's really no Filipino practices or anything that I uphold.
Yeah.
Like, I'm all the way American. I just happen to be of Filipino and English descent.
Mhm.
I'm just all American. It says it on the birth certificate. Trust me.
100% stamped.
California.
Alright. I don't know. I feel like I answered most of these, and some of them are directed to like a married couple. So
Let's answer 'em. What's the question? Just for fun. You
okay,
got this.
let's pretend.
Okay.
Well, this one, the wife is the
The bacon prize corner.
no. The male is American, and the female is
A mail order bride.
Chinese. So it says, with your wife coming from a collectivistic culture and you being from an individualistic culture, did this cause any distinct communication barriers? So collectivistic is very like group oriented. They like to do everything with each other, and like especially in work environments, like it's very group oriented, whereas like Americans are very
I'll get it done
independent.
myself.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
hate group work.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's weird.
Have you adapted certain portions of like each other's communication, different like styles of communication?
I think he just learns my slang. That's just
Yeah.
yeah.
Slang. You just shorten words. That's all it is.
Well,
That's
good
how
word.
Chelsea does it.
After being in an intercultural relationship, have you questioned or changed any of your core beliefs or values?
actually, I'm going to be Catholic. This weekend, I'm going to be baptized, and then we're going to go to the Philippines.
Good.
Romantic. Be safe.
Thai food.
Has being exposed to the deeper levels of another culture affected your worldviews?
It's kind of bursted your bubble on racism.
Yeah.
And what is it? Racism, minority, majority, and discrimination.
Yeah, I
Because
think.
you've said you haven't experienced any of that, or actually like witnessed it to an extent. Like I think you said you were like, you know it's out there, but you didn't think it was prevalent, and you didn't think you'd ever come across it. That's how
Yeah.
I feel you came across it,
No.
talking about it.
Yeah, that's true. Definitely, I think it's kind of opened my eyes more to issues that go on, and we haven't like come across it yet or anything together, but I feel like I feel like I'll be able to handle it better because I have more knowledge about it.
So it won't take you by surprise.
No.
So you'd say
I think I think it'll still take me by surprise. I think I'll be really angry.
Yeah, we won't be like sitting there in shock, like I can't believe that would actually happen.
Yeah, no, yeah. I won't be in the dark about it, but I honestly think, this is a really weird thing to say, but I think it will make me more angry than it would before because I actually am like connected
Part
to
of
it
it.
now. And like, yeah, and so I like, that's not really a good thing to admit, I guess, but like, I don't know, I think because like, I have a connection with it now, I think it will hit home for sure, and I would be even more angry than I would before having a connection to it.
What? So, has this strengthened your relationship?
Has it? I think it has. I think it has because if we didn't talk about this, like, I think, I don't know, being a part of a relationship, like, if you want to be serious with someone, like, you have to kind of go deep with things.
Yeah, you have to know where they come from and what they're all about, and if we didn't know each other in like the deeper layers like she's getting at, it wouldn't work and like this as strong as it could be.
Yeah, and I think when you learn new things about each other and you you're able to connect on a certain level of emotion, I guess, because when you hear him talk about the things that, you know, he had to deal with in Susanville and maybe even outside of Susanville, it's an emotional kind of, not saying he's crying or anything, but like it's something that, you know, that hurts people. And so when you kind of see that, like, for a lack of better words, raw emotion, it's kind of like, you know, like you want to connect more with it so you understand where they're coming from. And I think that that's made us really strong. And I don't know, and I like learning about that kind of stuff because, yeah, if I didn't, I don't think it would be as good of a relationship.
On a lighter note, what attracted you to each other?
Yeah.
She's funny. And cute, so it was a good combo. She's able to put up with Matt, so.
His brother, his little brother. I can deal with his family. Can deal with family. I think for me, oh my god. Okay, so I'm gonna tell this quick little story. I don't know if you know this story.
It's the one where you never got.
Don't. Let me tell it. So, my other best friend Cambria and I were working out, and I had actually come to the gym with his little brother. And he does know the story. I had come to the gym with his little what? Just be quiet. Come to the gym with his little brother. I leave Matt because he's gonna go work out with his big brother. At this time, I don't know Gary. I have seen him. Matt has never introduced us though, and we kind of ran into each other but hadn't talked. Cambria and I are on the ellipticals up on the rec, so we're looking down at the man cave, and I look down and I'm like, Cambria and I are not talking. We're both listening to music. I like pull her earphone out and I'm like, that's Matt's big brother Gary, and she's like, cool. Like, what? Like, oh, I don't know. I put my headphones back in. We're like still working out. And she's like, oh, okay, so is that Matt down there? And I was like, oh yeah, it is. She's like, but that's Gary. And I was like, yep. And she was like, you think he's cute? And I was like, yep. I don't know. So for me, I think, well, first of all, I think he's really handsome. And I like a sense of humor. And I don't know, I think that we have similar interests, but we also have different interests as well, and so it's kind of fun because it shakes things up a little bit, and we always have a good time together.
Would you say that culture had any play in the attraction with each other? Like, I guess culture's not really the right word. Just,
Like what our physical appearance
yeah,
is.
yeah.
Did it? Tell us our
I think so. I think
average
so.
height, handsome?
5'9". I think so. I don't know.
I mean,
He's
no
a tan
offense,
man.
but,
He's a
like,
good-looking guy.
yeah, I mean, Kelsey's never dated anybody who's looked,
Darker.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So.
looked anything like you, which is not a bad thing. Let me tell you.
Oh my god. Thanks.
I'm just kidding. Alex was a poor choice, but I'll
Okay.
let that one go.
Yes, we know. Thank God.
What are the strengths in your relationship?
The gym. The muscles.
Jim. That's true. Well, I can't speak for that right now because it's school time, so we haven't hit the gym in a while. I think we're pretty good at, we're very opposite people, and for the most part, I think. And so I think it's kind of the opposites attract part that kind of keeps us strong because, like, when I get really stressed out, you know me, I get really stressed out. He's pretty good at going, let's bring it down to planet Earth here and settle down because you're being outrageous. And so, and then sometimes this guy can be kind of cocky and macho.
Just confident.
Okay. I'm sorry. He can be a little too confident, and so I think it kind of.
You knock me down a peg.
I don't know.
keep
Yeah.
each other in check, basically.
Yeah.
So, it works.
Good stuff. You guys want to sign off with anything? A little love note.
Anytime you stay classy.
No. Yes. We just
And that's where the cookie crumbles. Is that what you're gonna say?
no. We're a good looking couple and we had a great time doing this interview and we just continue learning about one another and the end. What?
Hit him with a double wheel.
No!
Come on.
Okay, fine, you have to do it too.